ever get that thing of wanting to change your opinion to suit what a big group of people think? No, me neither. I'm not a dog person, and I'm not a cat person, but I do have a hole in my back door because I am an angry person. I usually like to think of myself as very amenable. I don't mind the gap between the train and the platform, so I do get hit by a lot of trains. And I want to get your opinion on this thing. You know, I commute a lot, and I'm sure a lot of people commute, and I've always thought, you walk on the right, stand on the left. Stand on the left, walk on the right. Stand on the left, walk on the right. But apparently, both sides of the bus lane are for buses, which was painful. Now, what do I do? A little bit about me, apart from getting run over. I recently got into baking, but I had to get out again because I was ruining the batter. I recently tried to get into that thing where you go around opening random mail, but it wasn't for me. People always ask me, Lorcan, where does your dirty mind come from? And I've got to say, that's a testicle to my family. Because like many people, I grew up. So, and I've had different relationships with my parents, as we all have, different relationships with them. My dad, he always carried the weight of the world on his shoulders. He was a door-to-door globe salesman. And my grandpa, he was involved in Operation Mincemeat back in the war. He ferried shepherd's pie into occupied France. Now, growing up, my brother was in a gang, but I'm the one who got hit a lot because I was in a gong. Yeah. I was talking to a friend the other day and she said, Lorcan, you're too agreeable. And I said, okay. And she said, Lorcan, I love the way you mispronounce French cities. And I said, nice. And I was talking to another friend, I've got two. I was talking to his other friend and he said, Lorcan, do you want to play a game of cards? And I said, amazing, what should we play? He said, how about spades? I said, what spades? He said, oh, brilliant game, spades. Bit like bridge, spades, incredible game, spades, fantastic game, spades. I'm actually really good at spades. I'm incredible at spades, I'm going to beat you at spades. And I thought, not if I do so first. And I hit him in the face with a shovel. Now, walking along a cliff, that's all well and good, isn't it? Walking off a cliff, that's a step too far. A couple of years ago, I lived in Greece. That was slippery. And as we all have, I've had different jobs in my life. I had a job, I was fixing a lift, and a guy came up to me while I was fixing the lift, and he goes, fuck you, does this go to floor 4? And I said, that's out of order, and he went, okay, I'll take the stairs. And I got another job. I was in a factory that made big bunches of keys. I was in charge of the jingles. I had another job, bit of a thinker. I had another job, I was a town crier, but that wasn't really a job, that was more of a calling. Now, with all of these jobs comes the inevitability of tax. So I went along to the tax office, which is where I've heard you pay your tax, and I went to the guy in the tax office. And I said, hi, I'd like to pay my tax, please. And he went, income? And I said, no, in money, please. I went on a date with someone who later turned out to be a necrophiliac. Turns out dead gorgeous wasn't the compliment I thought it was at the time. I was in a restaurant and I ordered the crab, and the waiter brought it up and he looked up at me and he went, I'm a lobster. It was imitation crab. And a Scottish man came into the restaurant and he ordered a single blini, and he ate it and he got up and left without even looking at the bill. And the waiter went over to remonstrate and he said, oh, it's just a canapé. Based on those, I'm going to leave you with some impressions. So thank you very much, you've been a wonderful audience, and see if you can get these. Okay, if I can get the bloody mic stand to work. Okay, first impression, war. That's a lion with a lisp. Second one, woe. That's a lion with a lisp who can talk and is in charge of a canoe. And then, final one, see if you can get this one, war. You may think it's very similar, actually, but that is a lion without a lisp who can talk and is talking about conflict. I've been Lorcan Jeffreys. Thank you very much. Good night.